So the
Oh,
spotlight game this week, we played a double feature of Grandius. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We'll st
Is it Gradia or Gradius?
Gradius. Okay.
Gradius, sorry.
Great.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Gradius. Yeah, you're right. I spelled this wrong in my notes. I put an N in there. All right. So I was pronouncing it incorrectly. Gradius came out for the original Nintendo in Japan in April of 1986 and December of 86 in North America. Then it got a Game Boy version. Then it got another Game Boy version. We'll talk about that in a second. But first, let's stick to this NES one. It's a side-scrolling shoot 'em up where you pilot the Vic Viper is the name of the ship. It's this starfighter uh, spaceship thing. You battle. You're on rails going through side-scrolly. Released by Konami. It's one of the earliest and most influential horizontal shooters on the NES system. It was known for its innovative power-ups, where instead of grabbing random upgrades, you collect capsules that let you choose when to activate specific abilities like speed up, missiles, double shot, things like that. And really cool, I didn't know this until I looked into it for this week. It's one of the earliest Konami games to feature the now famous Konami Code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. It granted players, if you put it in, a full set of power ups, and it's just a legendary cheat now. So, what did you think of the game?
Right, an impressive game for the time, and much like other games that came out during the time, was better on the arcade system because, of course, they had limitations, and was very
Mhm.
impressive with what they were able to do later on, which is what we see. Like you see the development between Super Mario Brothers 1 and 3. You'll never see a bigger jump um within a generation between early NES and later NES. I don't think so. So uh yeah, a big difference between arcade and this one is that you only get two options instead of four options, which does change in the second game. You do get four options in Gradius 2. I felt like parts of it kind of felt like an afterthought, which is fine. This is a
Mhm.
early Konami game, and this was done by a developer who had never directed a game before. But even things for the time, like the music, I kind of thought was more of an afterthought, even for the time being. Like not a whole lot there,
Mhm.
and some of like the enemy designs, I mean, I like the way the game looks, but, I felt like the first game lacked a little bit of focus,
Mhm.
which just it just makes sense. It just makes sense that this game preceded, other shooter games
Well, yeah,
or
especially in that time period where like story wasn't a given that a video game would have a story, you know?
Yeah, and like how I say with so many games that we review on here, this game would be great as a roguelike. Because like you're already giving them weapon options. So and Gradius, there were four mainline, but then there were other ones, at least one other one that wasn't a mainline Gradius game. Gradius 4 was released on PS2, and I think it looks really nice. I looked up some videos of it. Uh, and of course, roguelikes became a lot more popular later on, but yeah, why not make a Gradius game now where you have even more options of abilities and upgrades that you can get um, now that you know have it established that way.
Well,
Ranks.
speaking of other Gradius games, when this came out on the NES around the same time, there was another game released called Gradius on Game Boy. And that technically, I guess, would be Gradius 2 because it was not a direct port. It featured unique levels and unique enemies and things like that. So, for some reason, that was back when they would just name the Game Boy version the same thing as the home console version, but it would be a completely different game. That was like a little bit of an era for a little bit. And then they eventually made Gradius the Interstellar Assault, which was called Gradius 2. I keep saying Gradius 2 in Japan. So this is officially the sequel. Came out in November of 91 in Japan and January of 92 here. Yeah, it's kind of like a confusing Final Fantasy style title thing.
Yeah. For side-scrolling shooters, it's considered one of the best early side-scrolling shooters. So, and then yeah, there's four, and then there's other ones that aren't in the main series. One of these games that makes me feel like I don't know a lot about retro games, I guess, because I know we played I'm gonna say it wrong,
Mhm.
Exevius, which was around the same time that this game came out. But
There was also there was also a Gradius 2 in the arcades, which is a different game. So just like all kinds of confusing as to
right,
what the true 2 is.
right, and in comparison to the arcade game, the original NES game is more simplified. And
Mhm.
yeah, the development between one and two is pretty impressive because they're able to fit a lot more of the game on two than they did on one. I don't know if they had a larger cart size for two. But overall, this game does not rank that high for me, but I think that it is
Mm.
super ambitious. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I saw in Sean's notes he couldn't be here today.
yeah.
He actually preferred the Game Boy version. I wouldn't go that far, but it is impressive what they were able to do on that original Game Boy. And it just shows you how much file compression had come along from 86 to 91 when this game came out. It was a big leap. No Konami code this time though.
Hmm, hmm. Speed run, any percentage is 11 minutes, 4 seconds. There's been no recent top 20 runs, and I couldn't get the Wayback Machine to work for any of the initial reviews on this. So, um, no real news for us there. This one is 123 for me. And I'll mention now
Ooh.
that Exdevious, which I guess I'm saying correctly, we reviewed all the way back on episode 57, and I don't know where I ranked it at the time, but it is now 135 for comparison.
All right. So the NES version I ranked at number 72, which puts it in the neighborhood of it's right below Ghosts and Goblins on NES and right above Fire and Ice on NES. And I don't remember liking Fire and Ice this much that it's this high, so I'll have to revisit that and figure out why that's there. And then the Game Boy version I ranked lower. I did not think it was better. I put that at 86, so still pretty close. It's below Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, and it's above Demon's Crest on Super Nintendo.
I did not rank
So,
the Game Boy version. I'll do that later. I ranked
okay,
NES.
yeah.
Just I totally just
Neither one are top 50 material, but they're also at least still in that line of these are decent games. I don't know where that line really begins. You really have to get down to, let's see, like the 130 at this point before you hit games where I'm like, I'm never playing this again.
well,
is is 130 entries down.
this is certainly a game that makes sense to be on the service because there's not too many games that are side-scrolling shooters. It's Konami. It was
Mhm.
certainly important for the time. It was huge. It was like I would say it's huge to Japan. Like looking at the numbers they had, it was. second biggest, I think, tabletop game of '83 or whatever it was, whatever year it came out. Uh, so it definitely belongs in the service. Just not one I'm recommending to too many people. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's find out what we're playing
What,
when
what,
we come back, and maybe we'll be
wait,
recommending that.
wait,
Hmm?
we're missing a whole other game here. Hold on. Gradius
We
2?
are?
Are we
I talked
doing?
about Gradius too.
Oh, Gradius 2. Okay. I didn't realize we were doing both together. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No,
Gradius
I
2.
talked about how it came out in 1991 in Japan, 92 North America. Um, if you have more thoughts on it, let me know. You're talking about
Okay, then
you're
I
talking
had
about the Interstellar Assault, right? The Game Boy version?
right. Okay, I got it. Got it. Okay. Okay. This was 75 my list then, and um, let's move on. Then I ruined your transition. I thought we were doing games one at a time. I didn't
Oh,
realize. So so
yeah, sorry. No.
so wait, we didn't do Gradius 2 for NES? No,
Is that on there? Is it on the
no,
service?
no, it's not on there.
I think these are the only two Gradius games on the service.
Interstellar, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
I put Gradius 2 on my list. That's right. Okay.
because it was yeah, it's confusing. There was Gradius 2 in the arcades, there was a second Gradius game on Game Boy, and then there was Gradius 2 in Japan, which we got as Gradius the Interstellar Assault. So there's like three versions of Gradius 2. It's very confusing.
I'll change notes later.